Hello, and welcome back. And before we get started, I'm really tired. So if I don't look super enthusiastic, just keep in mind that it has been an incredibly busy time at work. But whilst I love the Final Fantasy XIV community, they're not very good at not posting spoilers on social media. And because I use social media for quite a few things, I need to play this now before somebody spoils something that happens for me. So we're back in the Rising Stones. We're being gazed at lovingly by Ali Bay, because that's what she does. Tataru's paying us no mind, because I think Tataru is blind to anything except money. And possibly Wedge? Biggs? Wedge? One of the two. At some point, I'll stop getting them confused. Maybe. Really loud bike just went past. Ali! Alice, I can tell you are itching. Take the fight to the Telophoroi. Itching is a strong word. You can get a cream for that. Ah, Demajen, you're looking well. I take it you managed to squeeze in some rest. If you came hoping for tidings from Kral, I'm afraid we're still waiting. But we do have some odd scraps of news to share. Scraps, she says. Lunar primals have been popping up all over the place. The Alliance has the situation well in hand, thanks in no small part to Hoary Bold and the others. Meanwhile, talks with the Beast tribes are going even better than expected. Encouraged Baldar's presence with Imalja, Gridania has opened negotiations with Ixal, believe it or not. So this is where the other Lunar Primals is going to come in. All of which is obviously very encouraging. But with the Telophoroi still out there, it's not as if we can afford to lower our guard. Nod. And fade to black. For reasons. Bum, bum. Talking. Talking. Everybody turns to Alpha now and tells them to shut up. Alpha now turned to the door before it opened. Begging your pardon, but I come bearing an invitation from the Alliance. The council meeting is due to be held in Alamigo, and your attendance is humbly requested. Ah, we were just talking about the Alliance. May I ask what's on the agenda? I believe the intention is to share news of recent developments and discuss what measures might be taken to combat the Telophoroi, in concert with our new allies. The Beast tribes have also been invited. It is hoped they will join us in the fight against our common foe. So, the Alliance would bring all the Beast tribes into the fold at a single stroke. An ambitious plan, given the delicacy of the negotiations, but perhaps an expedient one, considering the threat we face. Indeed, my lady. And for their part, I am told the Beast tribes have agreed to attend. If the Scions too are present, all of Eorzea will be represented. To arrange such a meeting must have been quite an undertaking, not only diplomatically, but practically. Pray inform the Alliance that we would be honoured to participate. We shall make for Alamigo without delay. And I'll bear you answer there with all haste. We look forward to receiving you at the Royal Palace. Wunderbar. Wonderful. Well, now that we've accepted the invitation, who exactly is going to attend? Me! Pick me! I move that you and Ishtola lead our contingent. Given how long you have worked to end summoning, it's only right that you be present for what promises to be a historic moment. I think we've all played our part in that little endeavour, don't you, Demajen? Nod. All present may rightly claim a seat, I do quite agree, but by your leave, I believe I shall remain here and lend what assistance I can to the coordination of our defensive efforts. I'm not coming either. Emerald could be there, and I'd rather not be interrogated. Very well, then. While those with the mind to hold the fort get on with holding it, I suggest the rest of us make for Alamigo. Shall we? Can't remember what Astinian's voice was. Shiny new request accepted! Hi, Tataru! Okay, anything new to say? Don't forget to bring me something nice. No. I shall take this opportunity to gain a better understanding of Sir Estinian. Being Ellison of like age, 'tis possible we have interests in common. I find this very difficult to believe. Mayhap I shall begin by lending him a favourite treatise or two from my collection. That is a terrible idea, Urianger. Don't worry, I have no plans to return to roaming in your absence. I know you'd only chase me if I did. I think I'm going to give him a kind of husky voice. Right, let's... Where are we going? Alamigo. There, I guess. I'm still trying, failing mostly, to get to grips with the controller and how that's working. I'm just trying to make sure there's no tiny little bit of the green screen left captured. That's never funny. Oh, I've still got the death claw on this. Where am I going? Over here. Oh, no, what I need to do. What I need to do. Whoa! Love this music. It should be noted, for those of you who are Final Fantasy fans, which I assume if you're watching this, you probably are, I'm planning on doing a playthrough of Final Fantasy IV before Endwalker. It's going to be a lot like my Final Fantasy VI one, where I try, and failed miserably, to give fun, silly voices to all the characters. It's been a long time since I played Final Fantasy IV. The last version of it I played was the Nintendo DS version with the voice acting and the 3D models and stuff. But I have not played Final Fantasy IV on the PlayStation Portable, which I have access to. So I'm going to give that a go, assuming technology permits, and see what that's like. I've heard really good things about the PSP version. So please look forward to it. Hi. I suppose I am. Wait, what? I feel like that's supposed to be part of a conversation. Honestly, the look on your face. You could bear witness to another historic moment by any chance? Even with the swift intervention of the Immortal Flames, all too many lost their lives at Pagalthan. Still, closer cooperation between our peoples will be required if we are to thwart the plans of the Telophoroi. Like the city-states, every beast tribe has its factions, each with their own agenda, making peace a complex proposition. But if the Alliance can come to an understanding with their leaders, it will be for them to resolve internal politics. The Amalja cannot be the only tribe to have been targeted by the Telophoroi, and none of them will have taken kindly to having their people enslaved, nor their goods turned against them, and the gods even turned against them, because goods being turned against them is a very different proposition. Tilda. Who was Tilda? Is Tilda somebody we should know? No, but she looks beaten up. Peacock Mount. No idea where you get that. We've been expecting you. While some guests have yet to arrive, the Alliance leaders are all present. Shall I show you in? They don't even give us a choice anymore. They used to give you a choice. Hi, friends. Loads of you. Is this Graha's first official meeting? Lise, you look very sad, Lise. Are they bickering? Are they... Oh, we might get some sound in the... some voice acting in this one. Sylphs! Hi! Hello! They're all here! Probably. Is Lisa's neck got wider? So we've got the Sahagin, the Ixal.
Esteemed guests, you honor us with your presence. As there is much to discuss, let us begin.
Is this all gonna go to shit? Is my one question. I suspect... The Beast Tribes have never really done a whole lot of working together. So this could be... Yeah, this might not go well.
Information on our taken brethren you have, yes? Hear it we would.
Okay, starting off with demands isn't the smoothest way of doing things.
Beyond forgiveness these featherless ones are. With rivers of blood shall they pay. Freed our people must be.
Is it just me, or is the voice acting a lot quieter than the music? Have I changed the sorry if I've changed the settings. There's not a lot I can do about that in the middle of a cutscene. I'll check in a minute.
We too would see your kin liberated, but ere we attempt their rescue, we must first find a means to negate the risk of tempering. Without that, we will be unable even to approach
Yeah, the sound balance is
towers,
off. I think it's my fault, probably.
with their defenders.
If all else fails, I've always found cannonballs quite effective.
And what of the prisoners? Would you see them slaughtered?
Think for a moment. Ponder, consider, think. If Merlwyb truly intended to bombard the towers, she would have done so by
Well
now.
done, Second Order Patriarch
Remember,
Zadar.
we came here to find
That's
a solution
Gabu's
together, did we not?
grandfather?
Y'shtola spoke of defenders. I but offered a means to clear a path, should you require it.
Given the enemy's capabilities, we will all need to play our part if we are to have any chance
Yes.
of success. For if any here should
Is there
be less
solo
than the best,
duty in
it
these,
will be
I
to the
wonder?
cost of every
I
living being on
suspect
this
there may
star.
be. I have successfully avoided spoilers for the last 24 hours. I'm actually recording this on the Wednesday because I was exhausted on Tuesday. There was no chance I was going to be in any state to record. I went straight to bed.
A paragon, the Empire, our very gods. How can we hope to prevail against such odds?
With the power of friendship.
That our foe is formidable, none would deny. But our strengths are many and varied.
There are a lot of
In this
there's
chamber,
some
I
variety
see
here.
masters of strategy, masters of magic, masters of the land, the air, and the sea. And together, there is nothing in creation we cannot overcome.
Also, you've got me, who has killed gods. Literal gods. Also, we've got Ali Bay. I mean, let's be honest, Beastman guys.
I beg your pardon?
What is it, Soulwalker? Do you not express your passion thus?
No, we do not.
A little quickly will have gills, perhaps?
He's laughing.
Suffice it to say, I am proud to be counted amongst Eorzea's finest. We Sahagin will play our part.
That is an interesting piece of voice acting, and I suspect whoever did the VA for this guy had some interesting warm-ups to do, and probably quite a few takes on some of those lines.
We kobolds have not forgotten
We
the crimes
kobolds.
the Overdwellers committed against us in the past.
But
But
today,
today
we look to the future.
future, as allies united in purpose.
Yes. And the others don't get voice acting, because voice acting is bloody expensive.
Make mock of the Ixal the Paragon does. Turns kin into puppets. Pits brother against brother.
Brother.
Free them
Brother,
from
I
his
can't roll
grasp
my arse,
we
and I'm
shall.
still salty about this.
As Patriarch Zadar will attest, the Scions have granted us a means to free your brethren from their thraldom. This boon we will gladly share, that your people might never be enslaved again.
We accept. We accept.
Praise me!
Wow. But wait. Ah, a little montage against nice music. Talking and happiness. And the knowing looks.
It's taken a while, but I do believe we might be one step closer to a world without primals.
Finmilia?
Would that Minfilia were here to see it.
Yes. Or Reen.
We still have a long way to go, and we're going to need a lot more pork seeds. But we're moving in the right direction.
And therefore, a spanner is about to be thrown into the works. Nod.
If I may have your attention, there is one other point
Alphino
I would
wants
like
to
raise.
talk.
As we can all agree, freeing those held captive must take precedence over every other concern.
Yes.
But experience has taught us that none save those with the capacity to resist tempering can hope to enter the towers unscathed. And even once inside, a still greater threat may yet await them, that which we call a primal. Needless to say, if we are to succeed, engaging with such foes can only ever be considered a last resort. And so I move that we seek to prevent them from being summoned in the first place.
And how do we do this, Alphino?
Yes! Both prayer and ether are needed for the ritual. Should either one be denied, the summoning would fail.
Indeed. And so we must endeavor to discover the source of the ether on which the process depends. Do so, and it may present a way to halt the summonings, or perhaps
But I
even
feel like the
neutralize
towers are
entirely.
going to be the source of the ether because they've got the prisoners within the wall, so they're using them as batteries, aren't they?
A promising proposal. While you are conducting your investigations, however, we will need to remain vigilant, lest the Telophoroi commit further abductions and summon primals ere we have the means to prevent them. To stand a better chance of keeping our enemy at bay, we would do well to coordinate our defensive efforts, sending reinforcements to assist our neighbors when needed.
Yes. Logical.
We, Amalja, would have been overwhelmed were it not for our newfound
They're all
allies.
working together.
But say the word, and we shall come.
Finally.
I
10
see we are all
years.
in accord. But what are we to call this proud fellowship of ours?
It's all going to go to shit.
I submit that the honor of naming it should go to the scion whose brave
Oh no!
efforts
Don't
have done
don't
so
don't
much
let
to
Alpha.
unite
No, wait. He's
Eorzea.
talking about me, isn't he? Stick my finger up my nose. I would call it. One moment, please. The Grand Company of Eorzea. Which is a bit of a shit name, actually.
But that's the name I get.
A fine choice, for there is none here who does not love Eorzea.
I like that. It's the first thing I've laughed at from Alphino in ages.
Aye, in that we shall
Aye.
ever be united.
United in our gratitude for the realm that gave us life.
What's up with Calicena's teeth? Does she not have a... Have I just not noticed?
Then let it be recorded that on this day,
Can we have
the
HD
Grand
textures,
Company
please?
of Eorzea was born.
Thanks, Nanamo. Is Alfie going to sulk? It was my name. Oh, he cry. He happy boy. Alistair needs to slap him.
How long have we dreamed of this moment? And now that it's here, Oh, forgive me.
Oh.
Might we speak outside?
No, we can go and stand out in the corridor and calm down. Nod. Why do we have to agree to this? Alphino is going to have his concerns. Because he's Alphino. And of course he's going to have his concerns. Right, now that we've actually got out... Interesting. Voices still... Let's take that down a little bit. Don't know what's gone on with that. Speak to Alfina. Well, I will do after I'm done speaking to the others. We're one of the leaders. Now the leaders must win over their own people. No small task, I grant you. But we've come a long way since first we joined with Minfilia to bring an end to summoning. A long, long way. Yeah, they're clearly building up to an end here, aren't they? The Grand Company of Eorzea. I wonder what Real and the other Crystal Braves will make of it. It's a pity it's at the threat of annihilation for everyone to cast their grievances aside, but better late than never, I suppose. Forgive me for observing, but Alvaro seems less than jubilant. Might his thoughts still be occupied by the fate of poor Arenvald? You think? Did we find Arenvald? Yes, we did. He's in the infirmary in Uldar, isn't he? Well, now that we are out of earshot of the other delegates, I hope you will forgive me if I speak my mind. Let me begin by saying that I have dreamed of this day since the moment I first set foot upon these shores, and that I was as heartened as anyone to see the peoples of Eorzea pledge their solidarity. Yet even as they uttered their declarations, all I could think about was the conflict to come, of the sacrifices that would be made and the lives lost, inevitabilities that I still struggle to accept. But at least now there is hope. The formation of the Grand Company of Eorzea is the first step, the first of many. Somebody says many and more. Can he? Elder Seed's here. How might we be of service? I seek Master Alphinaud's assistance in a matter involving Gridania's neighbours, the Sylphs. Huh? I know that you and yours have long kept a weather eye upon the crystal trade, the better to predict the coming of primals, and so you will be familiar with the Sylphs of the Ash Crown Consortium. Through their dealings, they have cultivated relations not only with the city-states, but many other communities besides. Communities such as the Beast Tribes. Just so. It is our hope that we might make use of the Sylph's established lines of communication to coordinate the efforts of our new fellowship. Have we heard about these guys before? I do not recall. Yet there remain certain practical differences between a trade consortium and a grand company. If the Sylphs are to perform their task effectively, they will require the counsel of one versed in the operational aspects of an armed force. An armed force founded with the self-same goal in mind, no less. The Crystal Braves, yes. Forgive me, Master Alpha. Now I know that it was a painful chapter in your life, but the experience may yet be made to serve the realm. In my hubris, I plotted a course for the Crystal Braves which stretched far beyond the Order's initial conception, one intended to pave the way for the founding of what I intended to call the Grand Company of Eorzea. But my plans all came to naught. Built upon a frail foundation of lofty ideals, the Order was doomed from the first to collapse under the weight of more worldly interests, and I have no wish to see this new endeavour suffer the same fate. Mayhap I ask too much of you? Not at all. You may count upon my assistance for what little it is worth. By your leave, I shall prepare a report, including a list of recommendations, drawing on the lessons I learned from the failures of the Crystal Braves. You have my gratitude, Master Alphinaud, and my trust. When your report is ready, pray, please return to the wagon. No, pray share it directly with the Sylphs. With your guidance and the earnest efforts of every goodly soul gathered here this day, I have no doubt but that our fellowship shall emerge from the shadow of the Telophroi and flourish. Until next we meet, my friends. Is that Laurentius? Ow. I feel like the microphone might pick that up. Before committing anything to writing, there are a number of people whose thoughts I should like to hear. Former Braves, you understand? Won't you join me in seeking them out? I can't think of it. I'm actually going to say that. I can't think of an excuse not to, so yes. Well, I shall be grateful of your help, grudging or not. I'll join you. If you're planning to canvass the opinions of your former comrades, it would be a lot quicker if we share the task of questioning them. Then mayhap Graha can lead it to hand as well. I shall accompany Thancred back to the Rising Stones. Between us, I dare say we should be able to provide an accurate enough account of the day's events. We should be glad of your company, Graha. I shall explain the details on the way. Nod, 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 nod. Bye. Speak with Ali Bay. So, what's the plan, brother mine? Before discussing the task at hand, I should probably admit that the report I proposed is largely written. Not long after that fateful day in Ulda, I penned a detailed account of the organisation's history, from the events that led to its inception to the failings that brought about its demise. This I did primarily as a means of taking some sort of responsibility. Never did I imagine that it might later be referred to those seeking to form a similar organisation. And while I made every attempt even, to be objective, the account was mine alone, its events viewed from my singular perspective. For it to be of use, however, it must be broadened to encompass the viewpoints of all involved. Only then can it answer what seems to me to be the crucial question. Namely, why after the Crystal Braves disbanded did some members choose to remain with us, while others did not? I see. You think the answer will tell us something about the nature of the ties that bind our new grand company together, and that this knowledge might help us to prevent it from falling apart when those bonds are inevitably tested. Odd. That is my hope, yes. But the questions I would ask are uncomfortable to some. As the former commander of the Crystal Braves, I doubt that those who abandoned the cause would welcome my inquiries. Then Graha and I will just have to try. Meanwhile, the two of you can talk to the ones who kept the faith. A fine suggestion. Have care, however. Certain of my former comrades are of questionable character. So keep your wits about you, and let us reconvene in Gridania later on. The music has stopped. If you have no objections, I have in mind to begin by speaking with Riel and Alian. If memory serves, the two of them will be attending an intelligence briefing at Castrum Oriens. Let us seek them out there. I cannot remember where that is. Is that the one in... Ah, it's there. Do. Let's get on in our whale. Do. Music rousing in our whale. Look at this curls flopping around every time I move my head. It's only been a week since I had my haircut. You don't care. Shut up, Demajen. You talk too much. Well, such briefings are seldom exciting affairs. Their importance in coordinating our efforts with our allies cannot be overstated. In that regard, Alian and Riel have been most dependable. Hi, Riel! If I remember, he's got a piratey voice, hasn't he? Well, look who it is, and what brings you two here? Never anything to do with the big meeting, would it? In a manner of speaking. I've been assigned a task, you see, for which I require the assistance of former members of the Crystal Braves. Which I shall now fill you in with a pan up and fade to black. So you want to know why we decided to stick with the science, eh? Ain't an easy thing to put into words, that. As we all will attest, I spent a long time agonising over my failure to alert you to the traitors in our midst. For my negligence, I was captured along with many others, and we were powerless to prevent the tragedies that ensued. Not a day goes by that I do not think back to those fateful events. By joining the Science, I hope to redeem myself, and I will continue to serve the cause for as long as I am able. So guilt is her motivator. But that wasn't my only reason. When we were finally reunited at the Rising Stones, you refused to blame anyone but yourself for the fall of the Crystal Braves. And in spite of everything that had happened, everything you had suffered, you took us back without a moment's hesitation. We would not have blamed you had you turned us away, but when you gave us your trust instead, what else could we do but try to repay it? Nothing, that's what. As for my own tale, well, I've always felt the Science has something in common with me old crew. The duty of the strong is to protect the weak. That was our creed. I still strive to live by it to this day. But as time goes on, I've learned that strength comes in many shapes and sizes, from Ori Boulder to Mistress Tatteru. We've all of us got something to offer. And not one of us is doing it for personal gain, because we believe there's more important things than that. Things worth protecting, which is what being a scient's all about. I am at a loss for words. Oh, if only that were true, Alphino. Thank you, my friends. To hear this from you means more than you know. This is just going to go straight to his head. Forgive me. Demajen, could you... Oh. Give us your thoughts on the Crystal Braves. Well, its founding ideals were something to be proud of, but ideals alone don't make a crew. For every swab who signed up with good intentions, there was another one who's only in it for the coin, the glory, or both. As was quite a disparate band, and while I will never forgive Ilbert, the fact that we managed to function at all was in large parts thanks in large parts to his efforts. Just a pity he was doing it for all the wrong reasons, eh? Only takes one bad apple, they say, and the Braves had a barrel full of them. Not like the Science. We might look like a ragtag band of misfits, but deep down we've all got that shared sense of purpose. And why? Because Tatteru sifted out all the glory hunters before they made it through the door. I see. So while our ranks comprise a diverse range of people, each with their own individual strength, sir, we are all united in purpose. I am struggling already. Thank you, my friends. With your permission, I shall make a record of our discussion and refer to it when drafting my recommendations. Until we meet again. Nod, nod, nod. Cha-ching. Ba, ba, ba.
Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.